I said to the Lord, I said, Lord, I really don't want to do this, what I'm about to do right now. So stay tuned. And the Lord said, I know you don't want to do it. Why don't you want to do it? And I said, well, because people don't want to accept it, so they're going to attack me. And he said, that's right, they will. But somebody has to tell them the truth. And I've chosen you because you understand the topic. Don't you care about them? And I said to the Lord in response to that question, well, yes, Lord, you know I do care about them. More than anything, you know that. He said, I know. That's why I'm having you do it. So yeah, they're going to attack you. Some people, not everyone. And I care about them. You care about them. So we're going to tell them the truth. And those who have ears to hear will hear it. And they won't attack you. They'll thank you. So focus on those people and not on the people that, because you're saying some truth that hits them where they need to be hit, are going to attack you, because you can't worry about those people. Let me worry about those people. You go out and you help the ones that will be helped, okay? And I said, okay. So here we go. Many of you, not all of you, but many of you say you care, but you don't. Now that's just the thesis statement. It's very clear. It's very simple. Now I have to stay out of the weeds, right? Because of a couple reasons. Number one, it is the weeds. I can't go into every example. The Lord knows. If you ask the Lord, He'll tell you whether you really care or not. If you really, really are seeking the truth, then you go to the Lord and you say, Lord, in this particular case regarding this particular cause or this particular issue or this particular person, do I really care? Could you show me if I don't? And if you're genuine, He'll show you that you really don't care. You say you care, but you really don't. So I can't get into the weeds. The other thing is, because there's too many variations. I'm making general, truthful comments here overall. Many of you, if not, maybe not most of you, I don't know, don't really care. But you think you do, and you say you do, but you really don't. And that's as far as I can go, because otherwise there's just too many of you, there's too many details, and it's too fraught with, well, certainly I don't have the time, and it's fraught with all kinds of possible traps for me. I'm not going to corrupt myself by trying to be your judge. Okay, I'm not your judge. I'm only here as a friend, someone to teach, somebody to help. But I'm not going to get into a situation where I bring judgment down on myself because I judged you. Right? I'm not going to judge you, and I don't know your details, and I don't know, the particular issue or the person, but I'm just making a broad statement. And I make it, to myself all the time. I say, do I really care? It's not a statement, it's a question. And many times I realize that I guess I really don't care. And I have to deal with that. So I'm not posing to you any concept or charges or accusations or questions or anything at you that I don't have for myself. You say you care, but you really don't. Now, I will use some illustrations because illustrations are necessary, but I can't go into the weeds, and I certainly am not your judge, and I don't want to be your judge. I don't think I want to spend the time to try to do that. I certainly don't want to risk what I could do to myself by judging you. Come under God's condemnation. I don't want to do that. I'm not your judge. I'm not fit to be your judge. I can't know all the details. I could help you if you wanted to share some more details later on and you wanted to say to me, well, Rick, could we talk more about this situation? What do you think? Then I'd be glad to do that. Always am here for you. But I'm making a entry here, a journal entry, and I'm making some broad comments, and I'm telling you what is true, is that most of you, or some of you, maybe most of you, probably most of you, on some issue, if not more than one, if not on everything, don't really care. You care? No, you don't. You don't care. Okay? And you might not even know that. You might think that you care a lot, and you don't really care at all, really, hardly at all. Now, that is because, and if you go to God and you ask him, he'll show you in detail that you don't care. You really don't. Now, that's just the way it works. That's just the way it is. Okay? But to help you flush it out, let me say some extra things. To help, again, I'm trying to help you to get closer to God and to help other people. So, and thereby, help yourself and feel better about yourself and actually be, a light in this world. All right, so here's the thing. And these are questions and thoughts that I have that I apply to myself. So if I can do it regarding myself, I can certainly do it with you. All right. So I ask myself, I say, Lord, do I really care? Many times I do this. We're supposed to do this. Check our motivations, check our passion or lack thereof. Do I really care about my brother? Or do I really just want to be a person who cares? Now, that's two different things. Okay? Both of them are admirable qualities that God wants us, that other people see, that other people want in us, and that God appreciates and God blesses. All right? God wants us to absolutely care about being a caring person. He wants us to ask him to help us be more caring. But that's not the same as actually doing it. Wanting to be a caring person is a very good thing to want. Okay? But that's not the same as actually being a caring person. Just because you want to be a caring person doesn't mean that you are or that you will be a caring person. All it is a desire. I want to be a caring person. Well, that's a good start, of course. But that's usually as far as people go. They don't check their motives. They don't check their recent actions. They don't check, they just, I assume that I'm a caring person because this is my brother or my sister or my aunt or my uncle or my mother, my father, my son or my daughter. I mean, of course I care. We tell each other. If somebody was to say, do you care about that person? We would say, yes, this is my brother. Of course I care. My sister, of course I care. Of course. What kind of question is that to ask me, do I care? We would be indignant. However, it's a very good question, and we should be asking ourselves. And the answers we're going to get are going to surprise us because God's going to answer us, and it's going to be based upon revealing to us the deepest realities of our hearts and our actions. For instance, I can say all day long, and I should, that I want to be a good brother to my siblings. But am I really being a caring, loving brother to my siblings? I don't know. You'd have to get inside my heart and look at it and see my actions and judge for yourself. The truth of the matter is that just wanting to be a good brother is only half of the equation, the solution, or the whatever. You actually have to be that person. Do I hold myself up and stop there as just being a wannabe? I want to be a good person. Or have I actually been a good person to my brother or my sister or whatever the case may be? People talk a good game. They want to invite people over their house to visit or to go visit them. But have they done it? They say they really, love their brother or their sister, their mother or father, but are they just really people that love the concept of loving their brother, their mother, their father, whatever, their child? Are they actually doing things? Can you look at their lives and see that, wow, they really sacrifice. They love their parents. I've had people tell me they love me and my family, and they never come to visit me. Well, they haven't. Do they care about me? No. They care about the concept. They want to maybe love me and care for me, but they really don't. It's evidence. I've done it myself. I say that I really care, but then when I examine my actions and how I think about them, I see, well, I don't really appreciate their burdens. I don't think about, gee, how sad it is that they had to go through all this. They must feel beleaguered. They must feel exhausted. They must feel very alone. I don't do that as much as I should. I say to myself, I'd like to be more sensitive to their loneliness, but that's not the same as actually being sensitive to their loneliness. Do I call them on the phone and cheer them up and ask them how they're doing? Or go visit them? Go out of my way, sacrifice my time so that I can actually lift their spirits? No, I don't do that. Well, then really, how serious am I about claiming to care about their feelings and their loneliness if I never help to make them feel less lonely? Right? I mean, do I treat everybody there like, do I say I care about you, but it's kind of like the care that I would have for a pet? I kind of care. I mean, I don't want to see anything bad happen to you. I mean, I like to play ball with you down the beach. I like it when you jump up on my bed and we go for a walk together. But do I know I treat you and think of you as a pet. You bring me joy and, I don't have any issues with you, but do I really love you? Do I care about you? Really? That's a question somebody has to ask the Lord, and the Lord will show them if they really do care or not. Caring for somebody means that you don't do the things you do because you want to be a good person, although that's a noble thought. The reason that caring for somebody means you just actually automatically think about them and how hard life is for them. And, you don't have to tell a mother or father, okay, to be concerned about their kids' happiness and whether they're feeling depressed today or not. They just automatically think like that. They love their kids, and love takes care of everything. You don't have to say, well, no parent wakes up and says, well, I learned yesterday in a seminar that I should be, thinking about whether my kid is lonely or sad today. And if they are, or I think they are, I should call them up and tell them I love them and ask them if they'd like to go to the museum together, take their mind off of it. I really feel burdened. I can't sleep because I think my son and my daughter, my brother, my sister is sad today and feeling lonely. I can't think straight. That is what marks the difference between somebody who wants to care and somebody who actually does care. And it all comes down to sacrifice. We think about the other person before we think about ourselves. We think about their burdens. We make, uh, uh, time for them, even though we might not have any time on our hands. We really care. We're not just people who want to care or who have a good concept of what caring looks like. We actually do it. We actually care. We actually call them. We go out with them. We think about their loneliness and their feelings first before we even think of our own or anything. We're just really burdened down. People can see it in us. Other people can look at us and say, wow, that guy, Rick Bowden, he really does care about those people. He's got his own issues, and yet he's thinking about their issues, and he's feeling bad for them. That's the kind of people we should aspire to be. Of course, we all know that. And that's the kind of person we should be able to say we are, based on the evidence and the actions, not the words. So, consequently, we all have people in our lives that say they care about us, but we know that they really don't care that much. And not caring that much, when you have to say it that way, well, he cares, but he doesn't care that much, isn't really caring at all in God's mind. I mean, you don't hold back. You don't, fabricate care. It's just care is either there or it's not there. It's that simple. There are people that they just, their family members even, they don't care. They don't care. I might get a phone call from them maybe once a month or something like that because they have to sleep at night. They have to pretend like they care every so often. I guess they're on a quota where they can't call me multiple times. They can only call me, once or twice every 6 months and check in like they're checking in with a pet. How you doing? You doing all right? Good. I was just thinking about you. Okay. Well, be well and be well fed. Okay. We'll see you later. I care about you. No, you don't really care about me. I know who cares about me and who doesn't. It shows. I can feel it. And everyone knows that. People know when they're cared for, when they're loved, and when they're not, when it's just a bunch of sentimental words. So I throw that out at you to hopefully help you with your relationships. I mean, you don't really actually believe that people that you don't really care that much about, or, that you don't think you're fooling them, do you? You might be fooling yourself thinking that, oh, gee, I really care about this person. Really? But but you're not fooling the people that you supposedly care about, but you really don't. Your actions show otherwise. Same thing with me. God help me to be a person that makes time and for other people and sacrifices my time and, gives me a burden for somebody feeling lonely or feeling afraid or, you know, I'm going to endeavor to really, I'm asking God to help me to actually be a person that is a caring person, not just a person that wants to be a caring person. The two are different. They're both noble, but they're different. One is wanting something, one is actually doing it, following through. Have you said and you felt like, oh, I want to invite people over my house or I want to go visit them, and then you haven't done it or you refuse to do it, you make excuses for not doing it? Well, then you don't really care about that other person. You really don't. And it's true. So when we stop lying to ourselves, when we start taking inventory, honestly, and looking at our actions, not our words, we start seeing that there's a whole group of people that we just kind of care about them like you might care about, some acquaintance across town, the barber, or some pet or something. You really don't care. You're not burdened for these people. You don't care. You're not putting them, you don't think of them first before you think of yourself. You don't really care about them that much at all. If you do at all, really. So don't lie to yourself and say you care about somebody when you know you don't really care about them that much at all, if at all. Class dismissed.